Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Oakland Athletics. In our previous episode, we ended the season on a bit of a down note. We were not able to win the division series. Came down to the very last game. Ultimately, our bullpen kind of let us down, which is obviously very sad, but it's okay. It's okay. Our next job this episode is to replicate success we've already been enjoying for the past several seasons. Now, this is clearly not the best run in Oakland A's history. The 70s Oakland A's won 3 World Series in like a 4 or 5 year period. If we look at Yeah, 3 in a row. 72, 73, 74, 1 in 89, and then the ones that we've won. So we certainly haven't totally cracked the Oakland problem. I do think we're one of the more successful franchises in Oakland history. Well, at least in Oakland. I mean, the Philadelphia A's won a lot of stuff too. We got 11 championships as a franchise in history, but only 2 of those came from us. So there's still a lot of work to be done here. There's still a lot of work to be done in order to be not only an excellent team, but a profitable one as well. Even if I would prefer to shove John Fisher headfirst into a wood chipper. That said, we've got some decisions to make. We've got some decisions to make. So, let's get started. Start with coaching. I find coaching to be kind of relaxing because it's fairly obvious generally. David Carpenter, you're in. You're the new AAA Vegas pitching coach. Got him a game? There you go. I'm also going to promote Chambers, I think. My chambery little chum. Oh, you don't want to take the promotion because not a promotion for you counts as a thing. Cotham and Angel aren't especially interesting, so let's try to get ourselves a new pitching coach. I mean, I would love to get John Kilichowski, but I think we're going to stop. No, Kilichowski's better. Let's fucking go. Let's try to get this magnificent sausage into our team. Let's take a moment to curse the name of John Fisher, who thinks that having the number 26 payroll in the sport is too fucking unreasonable. It might be time to increase ticket prices again. Let's take a quick look at Cleveland. Oh, Cleveland's charging $40 a ticket. And yes, they've got a fairly high payroll. But if they're charging $40, I think me charging $30 is relatively reasonable. Not 30 cents, $30. Although I appreciate the likelihood of having a lot more people there, I don't think that's going to be enough. So we're going to increase our base ticket price and hopefully make some more cash that way. Let's talk about stuff. Teehee, Bonewell. So I am not giving Michael Mullinax as helpful as he was, and he was. I'm not going to hand him a check for $7 million or $27 million. That would be fucking stupid to the extreme. So let's go through our players to determine who deserves a raise. Jim Crispin has been pretty solid. I don't think there's too much debate about that. And he wants a relatively reasonable raise. I think keeping Crispin is perfectly cromulent and a good idea. So we're going to do exactly that. $4.4 million, done. Juan DeMoya actually has a ton of upside. He's really broken through the last 2 seasons. It would be stupid in the extreme to let him leave. So we're going to bring him back too. He wants a long-term deal. I don't think I can afford this, though. I think we'll just give him a 1-year deal for now, and then see where that gets us next season. But I think 1 year is all I can afford at the moment, and it's got to come way down. Let's see, 6.1 million. He wants that 6.5. Fine. Done. Pete Howell wants $10 million. I have never heard a more absurd demand ever. Like, I truly don't understand what it is about the game's calculus that goes, fairly good reliever, $10 million. Like, no, that's not going to happen. Maybe they're concerned to be a starter. If that's the case, I don't know why he's $10 million and Juan DeMoya is $6 million. In either case, that's a no from me, dog. I'm going to try to trade him now and maybe grab ourselves a nice quality prospect. Ideally, so it doesn't cost you very much money. Juan Ventura. I get why he's rated so high, but I don't like somebody that's unmotivated, that has barely scratched the surface of the major leagues. I don't think that's a good investment at the moment. I quite like Ishmael Estrada. He's actually pretty well balanced. We'll come back, but I think he's the current lead dude. Chad Croft isn't bad. I could certainly get behind Mr. Croft here. But I like Estrada better because he is also a premium defender. Like, I could stick Estrada at center field, and I don't think I'd be concerned about it at all. And so I think that ultimately is what makes him the more attractive candidate to me. So we're going to go ahead and flip Pete Howell for Mr. Estrada here. And the fans are going to be a bit sad. It's alright, guys. It's fine. Mike Swanson, if we're going to get anywhere fast, it's going to be because of our young pitching. And unlike Howell, he is actually a starter. So I do think an extension for him is fairly reasonable. Done. Michael Perez wants $7 million. I don't think he's worth it. I truly don't. He is a very good reliever, and that is just not worth $7 million to me. It frankly isn't. So I think we're going to send you on your merry way in exchange for a prospect. I could get Devin Schaffner for the league minimum, who's already about as good as you are. I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't do that, to be perfectly frank with you. I could get Chad Croft, but I think this other guy is actually a better fit. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab Schaffner, save a bunch of money, and improve our bullpen at the same time. Dunzo. There we go. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Sergio Oviedo. I don't think we can afford him. Quite frankly, he's way too rich for our blood. Mr. Oviedo believes that he's worth $11 million. I could not disagree more. I think he is a very fine player. I think he's got a lot of talent, and I'm going to be sad to see him go. I am not paying $11 million for him. Like, point blank, not going to happen. I enjoyed the years we got out of him. He has been an asset to the Oakland A's. But if I'm paying for this level of performance, I need an elite player, and he isn't. He's a very good player. He's a potential all-star. But outfielders aren't that hard to find, and I genuinely think we're better off finding somebody else. So goodbye, Oviedo. You are deeply appreciated for all you've done for the Oakland A's, but that's a no from me, dog. Excuse me. We could get real stupid and pick up Jesus Ramirez, who's called Lefty Wilson, despite the fact he's right-handed. I mean, he's an incredible pitcher. Like, truly incredible. Like, the other possibility is Juan Ventura, but I don't like the idea of getting a player who's unmotivated and also only really has the one offensive skill. I'm going to grab Ramirez. What if I make him available? Then how grumpy do you get? Sort of. You know what? It's not the most ringing endorsement, but it's the endorsement I'm looking for. Can I get Juan Orea? I'd quite like him, actually. He's a very intriguing player. No, you don't want to give up Orea. That's fine. I'm just going to make this trade then, because I really want Ramirez. That's what happens, guys. If you don't like it, blame fucking John Fisher, not me. I mean, okay, you can blame me because they're paying $40 million to Derek Mitchell. That you can blame me for, 100%. But I've got enough outfielders who are right around Oviedo's level that I don't think signing $11 million to keep him is very smart. Last but certainly not least, Adonis Guzman for a mid-tier catcher. You are a captain. I don't think it's worth it. Point blank, I don't think it's worth it. I need a better catcher, and I think the road to a better catcher is acquiring one. Or hell, just letting Spanos play catcher every day. That would be fine. But you are not good enough, my friend, Mr. Guzman. How much is it going to tank team chemistry, though? Am I going to get fucking held up? No, it's going to cause issues if I don't have him. I've got a bunch of players here who are like millstones. So if I let Guzman go, we're going to be screwed. So I think I will sign him. As gross as it makes me feel. And then that'll be that. 2 million. Go. So that's what's happening for the existing team. This is looking to leave us fairly short of money to move. So we may have to make some other decisions going forward here to make that more palatable. We only got 2 years left of Peyton Green, which is going to be interesting. Let's go ahead and advance time just a bit. I don't want Marco Roya. And I don't want Max Buckley, or do I? No, I don't think so. There's stuff about you that I like. But you're already 29, have never pitched in the big leagues. I mean, I guess they're not asking for a huge amount. But Luis Mora has a better chance to be on the next good A's team than you do. We get Swanson, Chrisman, DeMoya. You want more money. Understandable. 300 grand. That's my final offer. Really? Really? 350. Take the Goram deal. Look, fucker, I'm giving you more money. You probably want a better job. So just say that. I know I've complained about this like every single episode since the dawn of time, but it remains true. Oh, we got a gold glove for Mr. Oviedo on his way out. Good for him. Oliver Camilo got reliever of the year, which is pretty dope. You'd love to see it. I think he's probably signed with someone else by now. Yeah, because it's not even showing him as someone I can hire. I will take Levi Romero. I think he'd be a fine choice. Maybe not as good as the other dude, but pretty good. A 15-year-old player here. Look, all he has is bad control and enjoys giving up home runs. How could that not be a successful player? I ask you. Oh my god, Romero. Fucking knock it off, bro. There, fine. Let's check out Hall of Fame. You know it. Pete Alonso seems like a fairly good choice. Maybe. No, he's not. At least Jordan Alvarez has, you know, a higher WAR, but let's come back to them. Bogarts and Bregman, both, yes. Rafael Devers, maybe. I won't not vote for him. Bryce Harper should have made it in a while ago. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't. Aaron Judge, sure. Frankie, absolutely. Manny Machado, you know it. McCutcheon, yes. McKenzie, no. Aaron Nola, maybe. Brian Reynolds, sure. Why not? Wow, poor Adley Rutschman didn't actually have a great career in the end, did he? Trey Turner. Brandon Woodruff. And then, I think this is fine. Like, there's nobody else here other than possibly Rutschman that I'd ever consider voting for. And Rutschman's career wasn't long enough, and if he's going to have a short career, he has to have an amazing peak, which he didn't. It's not his fault that he got hurt, but it is his fault that he didn't play better. If you wanted to be in the Hall of Fame, you should have played better baseball. That's what I've always said. We're going to want to clear the outfield logjam. I think that has to be one of our biggest objectives this offseason. We have far too many outfielders that are all roughly the same talent level, and we need them to start separating themselves out. I think we need that to happen. We do have some help on the way. In particular, I think Chris McDevitt is going to get a shot in spring training to show that he can be a top-tier starter. We have... Who else is nearing ready? Sean DeWitt might be ready. He might be ready. Ishmael Estrada is pretty close too, but I do think DeWitt is getting to the point where he's dominated in a lot of ways, and I do think we want to give him at least a chance in spring training. So I think we're going to have some players getting some reps in spring training, and that'll be good. I don't want to lose Isaacson for nothing, and I do have the 38-man room just. The question becomes, of these three players, who do I want to keep the most? It's not Johnston. Johnston is a replacement level first baseman. If I had to use him, I would do it, but Jaco, maybe. I don't like that his control is still so dodgy, but I could maybe see that happening. Actually, you know, let's wait until after free agents have filed, because then we'll get some roster spots from some of the fuckers that are on there now. Cool story, bro. Now I've got a couple more spots. Let's go and add Jacot and Isaacson. So what do we need? That is the question. I think our bullpen is better than ever. With the additions of players like Schaffner and Ramirez and Zumbrum and Wiltz, I am not concerned about the bullpen at all. I truly am not. If I were concerned, I also have Volpert that's waiting for an opportunity and might get one here. Caleb Sellers, I still believe in for now. I do wish he'd be a bit more productive consistently, but I'm kind of okay with it. Romero at second, Green at third, Hughes at short, all pretty good choices. The outfield is the logjam. We've got to get some of this cleared out. Let's begin by trading Steve Litwin, because Steve Litwin is apparently a douchebag, and most importantly, like, he's only ever going to be a DH. Like, he's a terrible outfielder. Truly, truly awful. Let's grab Bob Dodson. It's an amazing name, and it should hopefully help with the clubhouse. So that's one move done. The next player we probably need to move on from is probably Busby. I mean, Busby could just go to the minors. That's always a possibility, so maybe we just wait on that. I have about $11 million to spend on free agents. And I don't know what I want, to be honest with you. Like, truly, I don't know what single player would make a difference. I would like to keep Peyton Green if we can. Peyton Green has already racked up 30 WAR. If he can give us another few years, I think he's got a chance to break the 50 plane and be our Hall of Famer. However, you might be saying to yourself, Abby, you didn't draft him, you traded for him. And that is a fair point. That is a very fair point. What are you looking for in a contract extension, Mr. Green? Oh my lord. Thanks for playing. This now causes us to rethink a couple of things. So Green is not coming back. Like, if he wants $30 million, I don't begrudge him that. It's not coming from me. Then who becomes our new third baseman? Could be Hughes and could be Romero, so we could ship one of them over to third. Sure, but then that creates a void at second or short. I think we need to try to acquire an interesting second baseman or shortstop or third baseman that could handle the role. There is always Juan Ayala, although he's more of a first baseman, really. Amare Behringer would be a decent second baseman, perhaps. I don't have any middle infielders anywhere near the big leagues either. So while there might be help on the way in a couple of seasons, I don't have a good Green replacement now. Orozco can't play third. Arnett sort of can. Like, I suppose if we needed Arnett to be our guy for a season, that would probably work out okay. Right. Maybe we don't bother with free agency. I mean, I at least want to take a look. Like, maybe there's a really good value that we'd be stupid to pass up. All players. I mean, $3 million for Joe Boyle would be a pretty good deal. But he hasn't really been worth it in a long time. And he wants to be in the starting rotation, and that's not going to happen here. So I enjoy Joe Boyle. I don't think bringing him in makes a lot of sense. I really don't see a lot of value in bringing in any pitchers, to be honest with you. I think we have more than enough in our current roster, plus the minors, to really not fuck with that. Let's look at offensive performers. So there's Trey Morgan, who's perfectly fine and not worth $7 million. I do like Luis here, but I don't feel like spending a bunch of money for a veteran second baseman, no matter how good he might be. I just don't think that's very smart. Victor Acosta is fine, but again, not really worth $7 million for me. Meh. Huh. I don't think I'm interested. I think we're gonna set at the free agent mark this season. I just don't see anything here that really makes me happy. Like, trading Litwin was getting rid of Litwin. Like, that was very much the point of that transaction. Is there anybody I want to dispose of? Linares honestly might end up being a catcher if an injury happens, so we have to keep our options open there. That's fine. I doubt we're going to find another guy like Peyton Green. I really wish we would, but I don't think it's going to happen. Because a guy like that who signs a way below market value for a long time it's hard to find, right? I don't think that's going to happen again. What does Demoya want? He wants to get paid a fair bit. Well, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but I do think we need to be a little easy on long-term contracts for players that we aren't sure are going to be cornerstones. What if we went after Jacobo? What would it take to get you signed to a long-term deal? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I want those team options, but this isn't a bad deal. It's not as cheap as Green, obviously, but it gets us cost control and a player that I think is going to be drastically better this year. I truly believe that. If he will take this deal, I will offer it to him and see what that does for him. There's a bit of a gamble here. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But two things specifically give me hope. The first is the fact that he very clearly was way off his game last year. The other fact is that he just hasn't had a chance to get permanent regular at-bats. And we're going to fix both of those things this season. And I think we're going to end up getting a really good outfielder for a very long time. That's what I think anyway. I'm also going to trade Beascoa. I'm trading him for a very important reason, because Minor already is Beascoa. Like, anything Beascoa will ever be, Minor already is. And so I just don't see the need to have two players with exactly the same offensive profile. Let me be clear. I am hugely grateful for what he did for us last year. Hugely grateful. But I just don't see a role for him on this team as it's presently constructed. I just don't. And if we can try to get ourselves... Ooh, let's look at infielders. We can get ourselves a future infielder. I would be delighted. Luis Aguilar looks like an awfully good player. He is injury prone. But I could see him starting a third base for us in the near future. I like what I see so far. Alarcon is a big no from me. I mean, why not grab Aguilar, right? Why not grab him, let him develop a bit in the minors, and then call him up? Like, this is a guy who had barely any playing time over A-ball and was thrown into a permanent major league role. I'd rather let him develop at his own pace. I think Aguilar is a better fit for the team, and I think it makes us far more... oh, Mr. Dodson, I do have to add you... No, I don't. I can just demote you, can't I? Yeah, I can. And then I was going right to the mine. Oh, I guess he can stay on the roster at least as far as spring training is concerned. But I feel pretty good about that one. You want Danny Gross. He is relatively decent. What have you got to offer me? A guy who is not good. I shall politely reject your offer. Politely. We got Jacobo, and to be honest with you, I think we needed to. I think having a player with his potential at a reasonable price is the kind of move that we should be making. I'm not saying it's a guaranteed hit, but it is both surprisingly affordable and something I should be able to move along with if I need to. If I need to move that contract, I think I can without too much of a hassle. Let's go up to the Rule 5 now and see if we can maybe find ourselves a good young player that just needs a home. Just needs a home. I mean, there's some pretty high potential guys in here, not gonna lie. No, I don't think so. I don't think that does it for me. We have Eric Mitchell and Eric Mitchell. So if you don't like Eric Mitchell, you can get Eric Mitchell instead. Meh. Fa. Yeah. Ayala's a maybe, but the benefit of grabbing Ayala is getting a good shortstop third baseman for the main roster this year, and then seeing how he turns out if we give him more playing time next year. I guess having another infielder on the roster is sensible. Let's do it. Let's add Mr. Ayala here. And then I'm just going to end the Rule 5 because I don't really want anyone else in the draft. I just want more options and we can move people around. I didn't know that. Okay. Hall of Fame, Aaron Judge makes it on the first ballot. Typical Yankee bullshit. I'm sorry. If you're a New York Yankees fan, you think Aaron Judge is your favorite player. I'm not going to begrudge you for that. He is not better than Francisco Lindor. He just isn't. Or arguably Manny Machado, because they play a premium defensive position, and he doesn't. But whatever. I know that chicks dig the long ball. It is a reality of baseball, and we're just going to have to accept it. We don't have to like it, we just have to accept it. Right. I have money to sign players. This is not a one-player draft. There are 3 really great ones. Let's break them down. Nelson Arroyo is an offensive powerhouse. Like, all of his skills are off the charts. He's a really good bat. I think for Flores, the fact that he's so low on the mental stats, and he's on the smaller side, and he's a lefty with injury, I don't think so. Andres Novoa is pretty decent, but he's not as good as... I think we just go for broke with Arroyo here. and I can offer him the full 8.3 million. Let's start offering him 6 million and see what that does for him. I recognize the current situation where we get lapped, where somebody else decides to offer him the full 8 million and then we're screwed. But I'd like to think we have a pretty decent chance of signing him with just 6, because our relationship is pretty tight. We're all pals here. Amazing, it worked. And you even increased my budget. That I did not expect. Is there any one position that I would be comfortable spending a fair bit of coin for? Like a 1 or 2 year gap. Really buzz. Oh, we haven't started DeWitt yet. I think that's going to change a lot of considerations here. Right. Is there anybody worth signing left? I'm not backing up the Brinks fucking truck. I could bring in... That is interesting. Max Clark. Like, am I crazy to spend $11 million on somebody who definitely won't be here the following season? Just... No, because then he might be blocking DeWitt. Like, grabbing Jason Dominguez is effectively the same thing, but it's way cheaper. Like, DeWitt was just to add a veteran presence who can handle the outfield, and I think Dominguez is a good fit for that. So I think we will go ahead and offer him a contract. It's even got a major league option. So if it turns out that he doesn't make the big league roster, we can say goodbye and not hurt ourselves at all. Maxi boy, I will offer you $5 million. This is just to make you think about it, and if you don't want it, then that's fine. I don't think you can get more money from other teams, is my thing. You want to do $5 million this year and a $10 million player option next year? Maybe. But no. You're surly, and I understand that, but this is probably going to be the best you're going to get. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are people falling over themselves to grab Max Clark. But I don't think that there are. I like how Derek Mitchell got better after losing some of his contact ability. We did get Dominguez, which is great. Dominguez might very well get promoted. He's up to get a spring training shot. Like, that's not even a thing. Let's send you to AAA. You're definitely going to get a spring training shot, and if you earn your way onto the team, then by all means, we'll go for it. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said... I was right. Somebody said... I would never call a grown man Sparky. I think it's a team option. For $2 million. And if you want this, I will make this happen. I think he'd be a fine addition to the club. It said I would never call a grown man Sparky, and I don't remember who said that, but it was kind of funny that they did. Demoya's getting better. That's amazing. Ayala's getting better. Busby and Minor are both getting better. Loverly. Spring training. Mr. DeWitt. Volpert. McDevitt. Dominguez. Estrada. Gross. Teehee. Gross. That's really all, like, the top flight rookies that I think need to be sorted out this season. We've got a pretty solid starting contingent with Jacobo, Mitchell, and Minor. Assuming Clark signs, I think Clark's got a real good chance to get a lot of playing time. And then we'll figure out who might be left. But I think the clearest path to an opening day spot on this team is McDevitt. I truly do. Because McDevitt is would not only be one of our better starters right now, but he's got all this upside. Which I think is very special. So let's simulate. And we did get Max Clark back, which is great. I love to see it. Our boy has come home. And we can see how all this works out. Every last bit of it. Feel free to pen your favorite tribute to Peyton Green in advance of next week's episode, because he's not going to be here at the end of next week. It's not happening. Even if John Fisher fucking spontaneously combusted, and our budget tripled, I still will not keep Peyton Green for $35 million. That's just gross. It's just wrong, is what it is. What interesting that Bobby Stoll just added velocity and he actually dropped in skill. Ooh, Chris Allen's getting better. That's very exciting. Very exciting. Oh, we're going to play one more game just in case somebody gets injured. And then we're going to start sorting out the final opening day roster. So at the moment, they're not even starting McDevitt. But I feel like opening the roster without him on it feels like a waste of his potential. Jacot is gone. Hayden is gone. Gross is gone. Oh, how many pitchers did I get rid of? I need to get rid of 5 pitchers at least. 1, 2... 3, 4, I gotta get rid of at least 2 more pitchers. Oh, Hughes counts as a pitcher, so I really need to get rid of 1 more pitcher. I forgot completely that Chris Hughes is also doing some innings work. I mean, I guess McDevitt, but I really want him to get a chance in the bigs, because I think he could be special. And I think we'd be selling ourselves short if I didn't have him on the roster. So welcome McDevitt. Oh, I've got to get rid of somebody entirely. Isn't Zumbrum like a giant asshole that everybody hates? Yeah, Zumbrum is kind of a jerk. Let's trade him, just because I think we'll get a decent return for him, and also because, like, we don't need him. Oh, it's only looking at infielders. That's my problem there. I just want the best player available. If I can get anybody in the green without paying a major league salary for them, I'm gonna do it. Like, you just fucking watch me. Alas, this seems to be highly unlikely, so that's okay. Kevin Cooks. Any interesting catchers available, I wonder? Perhaps. If I could get like Ronnie Kelly and Nate King, I think I'd call that a decent trade. I'll just take Ronnie Kelly. I'm not gonna overthink this one. This is much about improving the clubhouse as it is as much about getting an open roster spot. So that I can add McDevitt and he can make the club. Because I do think he is special. And then I think Venegas goes back to the minors. So there you have it. 12 pitchers, one of whom is Chris Hughes, of course. We need to set this up. I don't know why you won't start McDevitt, but okay. Actually, I think I do need one more pitcher. Actually do think I want to keep probably Joel Volpert and getting rid of one outfielder. Or here, we'll get rid of Linares. And then we will add Mr. Volpert here. And that way we'll have a full 13-man bullpen. Because remember, one of the 13 men is actually Hughes. He's going to be starting more than he's going to be as a shortstop more than he's going to be pitching. I like McDevitt in a bit of a longer role. Like, I do like the idea of if a pitcher ends up pitching poorly that he'll get his day. But I kind of wish he would break camp as a starter, but that's alright. Lim is not good. Lim doesn't do it for me. Neither does Nelson. I wouldn't mind Orozco going to the minors start out the season. I think that's fine because we have Arnett Ayala. Oh, god damn it, Aguilar. Really? You've got a fucking... I thought you had an option left. Man. I mean, he can play short and second, so I guess we can send down Arnett. So we're going to do that. Oh, we have 2 Ayalas, that's right. I have too many infielders, I think. I don't think I have enough outfielders to get rid of that many of them. I've got enough people who can handle center field that I don't think keeping Ochoa is a priority. I'd like Estrada to work on his hitting a bit more. Mr. Dominguez here is certainly not necessarily deserving of a major league spot. Same with Isaacson. The question is, no, I think we let DeWitt play in AAA, at least to start the season. And that gets us down to 26. With a pretty good group, I think. We've got a really deep and well-rounded team, and we have some excellent players waiting in the high minors if somebody falls flat on their butt. I feel pretty good about this going into the next season. Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. Oh no, anyway. Wow, Sean DeWitt. Has he just been a prospect for too long? He's down to 12th now. That's disgusting. It is gross. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But that is it, my friends, for this episode. Yeah, I feel surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly good, but I do think that our bullpen let us down toward the end of last season. We have drastically improved and overhauled that. Ramirez, Schaffner, Volpert, McDevitt were all not on the team last year. So that's given us a killer bullpen. I'm less thrilled about the rotation, but I don't think Camilo is going to last in the rotation for very long. If he pitches great, then great. I'm going to be happy. But if he doesn't, then I've got Mr. McDevitt here waiting for an opportunity. I like to have him pitching in lower leverage situations in the beginning just to get his walk rate down. Because otherwise he's got a lot of potential to be just a really good starter from top to bottom. Our lineup isn't super different from last year, with the addition of Max Clark and Chris Busby playing DH. Which, I gotta be honest, I'm not super thrilled about Busby getting all this playing time over Jacobo. In fact, fuck you, game. You're not playing Busby over Jacobo. I won't allow it. I literally just signed fucking Jacobo for a contract extension. You will play him at left field. Like, this is not optional. It is mandatory. Stick him in left field. You absolute fuck stick. And he just fucking ignores me. Wow. Hey fucking Katse. You know what? Use him as no, don't use him as designator. That's stupid. Get rid of fucking Busby. I hate having to do this, but you're gonna obsess about him. How on earth can you take a player like Jacobo and decide, nah, I'm just gonna bench his ass? I would not assign Max Clark if I thought you were going to decide randomly, oh, tee-hee-hee, we don't need Jacobo. We absolutely do need Jacobo. And it makes me irritated that you're deciding that Ayala would be a better DH than he would. Like, what is your problem with him? Is this just some sort of weird fucking power play where I sign this guy to a big contract? You're like, nah, fuck him. Time is going to be running out on you, my friend, if you don't fucking sort it out right now. Oh, I see. You're just, like, asshole buddies with Chris Busby for some reason. Why the fuck would you like Busby more than Jacobo? I don't get it. Like, there's literally nothing that Busby does better than Jacobo. Except, I don't know, like, carry your shit or whatever. So instead, I'm gonna suggest that you don't play. Oh, no, I guess I can't make you not play him, can I? What if I ask you to set Jacobo as designated hitter? Do you listen to me then, or do you still get your weird hang-up? Okay, that you'll buy. Okay. I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with that, and I'm willing to see how this works out. I'm perfectly cromulent with this. I don't love starting Guzman over Spanos. I get why you're doing it because he's such a good defender. But he also can't hit. And so we need to consider that too, but whatever. My friends, that's going to end today's episode. If you like what you see, if you want to see more, please consider subscribing. Your subscriptions and your likes are always appreciated. Comment down below. Let me know how you think the team will do. And in particular, let me know if you're still enjoying the series. I'm still having a blast playing as the A's. And I still think it's a lot of good work that we could do, and I'm not getting bored with it or anything like that. Like, he's gonna die eventually, right? Like, there's a finite amount of time that John Fisher can tread this mortal coil. at some point he will die, and we will hopefully get an owner who's less terrible, which will really help. I think it's frankly astonishing that we've done as well as we have given the paucity of our payroll. And keep in mind, we're 29th in player payroll. 29th. Not quite half of that goes to one player in Derek Mitchell. This contract is going to suck. I am concerned. I have concerns about this contract. Honestly, the best thing that could possibly happen is he has 4 amazing seasons and then opts out. But I don't think that's likely to happen. But we'll see what happens as time progresses. I'd like to try to keep Demoya or Swanson or both. I don't know how feasible that's going to be, but I'd like to do it. I think Swanson kind of is what he is already, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't think he's got a ton more growing to do. He also is injury prone, so maybe Demoya is the better choice. We're going to have to give it some thought, though. Share your thoughts on that in the comments, too. Demoya is a lefty with this ridiculous ability, so... Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, this has been UpGuardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.